Thanks. Thanks for the opportunity. Look, I think we started the game very slow. We were not ourselves. Judging by the goal we considered, I think the first goal was a manna from heaven. The second goal, I doubt it was a penalty. I think it was a soft penalty, but still we were not ourselves. We were not in the game. I think we played about 45 minutes without any decent attempt at goals. So though we had some few good moments that I think maybe we could have done better. I think with Cole we hit the side net, then we had another one with Youssef. It went over the bar. It was a great movement from the boys, I think. So I don't know we were just flat, So maybe it could be the game we played on Tuesday. I think it took a lot from us, but we don't want to make excuse. I think we were outplayed in all departments. Then we went to obviously halftime. We had to make changes. Making those changes, I think we saw a little bit of positive offensive attack that could have maybe gave us a goal that Reeve I think it was still 2-0. Reeve could have, if maybe Reeve scored that one, it could have maybe changed the game, the complexion of the game altogether. And we couldn't capitalize, and then immediately we conceded the third goal. And just after that goal again, I think we got a penalty and we missed it. And from there, you could see, I think they created another 2 or 3 clear-cut chances that they could have capitalized. So I think, we were not ourselves. I think we only played for 15 minutes, second half. We looked better, we changed the structure, we looked like scoring, we dominated for that 15 minutes. Then from there we lost it again,
Karabo Pasha, your hand was up.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
I'm speaking under correction. This is the heaviest defeat that Chiefs has suffered since the inception of the league, 96-97. Any message that you probably have, to the supporters, as you said, you're not yourselves, and maybe any particular reason why that means? So just 2 quick ones, Coach. Thank you.
No, if my memory serves me well, I think 2013, if not 2014, with Coach Stewart, I think we lost to Sundowns here. I think 4-1 or 4-0. 2012. Yeah. So, look, sometimes these things they happen to to the best teams in the world, and with us obviously at the moment we're still trying to get the combinations right and bringing in new players, and the players were part and parcel of the team for some time, but you can see judging by the way we exerted ourselves today, we still have a long way to go, as I've alluded in the past, but it was good that we had to be exposed like this, and now it boils down to one thing: is in terms of the players, it's early in the season. We can still pick up, we can get better, we can learn from this game and move on.
Please introduce yourself and the media entity.
This Coach Mamelodi Sundowns freelance. Coach, last time we spoke, you said you rate your players by performance, and today you saw a couple of mistakes, especially from the back, a missed penalty, a shot that went over the bar. So how do you then think about coming into this game where the players are nervous, facing a club like Sundowns, dominant club like Sundowns, or what was happening to them?
To be quite honest, I have no idea. I'm still asking myself the very same question as to why they did not, come to the party. As I said earlier on, they were flat. Even if maybe we scored all those, the 2 goals, if Reeve converted, that opportunity, and we scored a penalty, the chances were huge. We were still gonna, lose the game. When you look at our boys today, so I think Sundowns were just on top of us, and in terms of the quality that they have, we all know that they have the quality. But with us, it's a work in progress. We will get there. It might take some time, but we'll definitely compete at some point.
We'll take the last 3 questions. There's Lorenzo, Temba, and then Sam. Okay, then.
Coach, last season you had a similar incident where you had to hold off roadblock for a couple of mistakes. Today you have to do the same. What did you tell Sia at halftime as a, just I'm taking you off, and how is he mentally now?
Look, if you look at how it happened early in the game, and then from there he couldn't recover. It's unlike Sia. Sia is one player that in 1v1 situation is one of the best defenders we have, in 1v1 situation. For an example, the goal that we considered, I think, was the 4th goal, where they played the ball down the line on the left. Those situations, Sia will come up top, and unfortunately, he was not himself today. And I think because of the knee as well, because he actually came to me after the game, because you remember he couldn't finish the game, and he came to me, he said, what, I'm not 100% okay, but I'll give my best. I said, no, try. If you can't, and then we'll obviously take you out and bring in someone else. And because we didn't want to break that combination of him and Zita right now, more especially with the kind of game that we're coming to play here, so unfortunately, he was not himself. He was not at his best, and he had to commit that error that I think also kills his confidence, but these things, they do happen in football. I am not gonna kill him, because of that. We will try and help him, to lift his spirit up, and training. Many other players are still going to commit such mistakes, and we move on. I think we'll get better with time. So you mustn't worry about that. That's part of the game. We all make mistakes. Even I think the referees, they made a mistake. He gave one of our players, gave Zita the yellow card, I think, and it was and it was not even a foul. I don't know, but it's one of those things. What I'm trying to say is that we all human beings. We are bound to make mistakes, and it's part of the game, and we learn from those mistakes and move on.
Timber Shabalala, Joseph M Sports. Coach, I just need to find out something from you. As we're building up to the game, we knew it was going to be such a big game, from the stands, from the streets, wherever.
Yeah.
How much of mental preparation was put into these players, since you're saying that they are not where they're supposed to be? How much of that was put into them, knowing that the stage was going to be big and they were playing against the wounded Sundowns? Mental aspect of the game, was it covered? And where do you start now that you've got another game coming?
Yeah.
I mean, in a few days, there's no way to sit and sulk.
Yeah, look, there's no point, for us to complain, or we have to work. I mean, we'll go and do introspection, look at ourselves where we can improve individually and collectively as a team, and we'll get it right. We'll do corrections maybe on Monday, because this is a game of mistakes, and you can only learn from your mistakes. So building up into this game, obviously we're playing against a team that's got so much quality, and they've been together for some time, and they have a way of playing, style of playing that gives them that advantage. And you can see, they're very bully in the midfield. They've got players who are very comfortable on the ball, and we had to do what to try and match them pound for pound, because to say to the players, listen, this team is top gents, we have to sit. There was no way we were going to sit. If we were going to sit, we were inviting trouble, and we were going to get tired like we got tired in the game. As you could see, our midfielders, Sitebe was flat, Yusuf was flat, Cole was flat, so everyone was, and I don't blame them. I understand. That's why I'm saying maybe it's because of the game we played on Tuesday. They gave their all, and coming to this game, they're mentally, they were also still tired. And we tried by all means to avoid, meetings, and we just said to them, go and relax, come and, focus on the tactics and the game approach, for the weekend's game, and then we'll take it from there. We tried by all means to avoid too many meetings and to overload them with information. We didn't want to do that. It was a case of this is the structure, and also yesterday, when Ash started training, he gave us that hope, and when he pulled out of the training, then now we have to restructure, in terms of who now is going forward. So we tried to say, okay, just to keep the pace up front. Let's start with Solomon because he was once a winger. Actually, naturally he's a winger, So we said, let's put him in the position 10 and also, giving us that width and the speed because we wanted to keep that pace going forward. The only time you can pose threat, to Sundowns defense was gonna, to have players, at least 3 of our players who can, have that combination of break attacks, going forward. But it wasn't to be. And as I said, we learned a lot from this game, and we'll move on, and we'll get better with time.
Velile, then last question from Kaizer.
Yeah, Coach Velile from SABC. In fact, I think you've answered my first question because I was going to ask about the injuries and how they impacted on changing your game plan.
Yeah.
But looking at the results, do you think that this shows the level of where between the two teams and how it's going to take Chiefs to get to this level? I'm saying this in mind with this the two clubs which are looking like going to the Super League from the country next year, and also, do you think? I know the profile of your number 6, but do you still think that you miss that number 6 who plays like how you want, but also with a bit of steel and shielding your defense?
I think Yusuf's got those qualities, I think, as I said, when I kept on saying, we don't want to play with fear. We want to be fearless. You look at the difference in their team. Why they don't give the ball away? It's because Jali will always start the play. That little bit of arrogancy, and Yusuf's got that. But as I said earlier on, Yusuf was not himself today. He was flat, and we looked much better when we now moved Njabulo into the middle. Because Cole also, he was a little bit flat. So we do have number 6. It's a case of us now working with them. Make them understand this is what we expect from you. This will be your roles and responsibility, on the field, in the middle of the park. So we'll get it right. I don't panic. We got a baptism of fire. It's part of the game. Even the best teams in the world, when they got themselves or found the same situation, they were hammered, heavily. And as I said, we'll learn from this game. We'll take the positives, and from the negatives, we'll take those negatives, and move on. Why those negatives? Because we don't want to find ourselves in the same situation where we'll be beaten 4-0 again. So we would love to do that to other teams, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I've got that belief. It happened for a reason, and it's also, to the players as well. To the players' mindset now. I know what they're going through, but it's just a setback. I think it's just a setback. Where we don't have to worry about it. Should I say maybe train smash? No, it's not a train smash for sure. It's just a setback, but we'll definitely come back.
Coach, it's Kaizer Chiefs from Sport 24. I know that as clubs you are not in charge of scheduling, but don't you feel that this game should take place a bit more late in the season when you feel that both teams have got a bit more fluidity on the field?
No, I think this is a business of football. You can't choose who you want to play against at what time or which time of the season. It was good for us. It was good for us. Reason being, we will look at ourselves in terms of the gap. Are we close enough? Are we playing against a team that has been doing very well for many seasons now, and which is good for the boys? We'll look at ourselves, and going forward, we know where we have to improve, individually and collectively as a team, including us as technical staff as well, in terms of the mistakes. Surely we made mistakes here and there because that's football, but for some of the players it was a learning curve. For some, they've been in the game. It was not for the first time. They lost 4-0, and even me as a coach, maybe in the PSL is for the first time, but I've lost 4-0 many a times, and came back very, very strong later on. So it's good for us to be in this situation. We'll get better with time.
Thank you, Manget, and good luck for the game against Chiefs.
Thank you.